it will just pull the dinghy the other way around. So this is wrong. You cannot tow your main boat using the dinghy in this position. Just the other day, we were leaving Anchorage and we got a line stuck on our propeller. And it was a crap show because we were really close to the beach and there were a bunch of boats next to us. We lost the ability to control the boat, and because the current was pushing us against the other boats and the beach itself, I had to tow the boat before I could drop our secondary anchor, because if I just dropped it there, we would have hit the other boats that were right there. And I made a mistake. In the midst of it all, I just put a line on the back of my dinghy and I started pulling the boat. Now, this doesn't work. We are sailing around the world the hard way. On our abandoned 1980s ketch, refitted on a very tight budget, now has all the luxuries you could ever want. This channel is more about technical advice and sharing knowledge than the journey itself. Sometimes with science, sometimes our mistakes, but always having fun. Today, I'm going to show you two ways of towing your boat in an emergency. One, if you have to tow it for a considerable amount of time, and the other one just for quick tows where you want to move the boat a few yards or a few meters into any direction. So let's go, let's do it. If you want to tow your boat for a considerable distance, this is the best way to do it. You tie your dinghy on the side of your boat, you use the engine to provide propulsion, and you use the boat rudder to do the steerage. It needs to be two of you, or you can, if you're solo, you can lock the engine in place, lock the throttle in place, and then you can go up and steer your boat. So doing it like this, basically the only thing the dinghy is doing is providing thrust. What does the steerage is the main boat, which is much easier than to try and use the dinghy engine to provide thrust and steerage. As you can see, this motor will provide the thrust. And we are moving. You would then use the rudder of your boat to steer the sailboat. You can always balance the dinghy better to give you better thrust, either a little bit to stern or a little bit forward. But yeah, this takes some time to set up, because you have to go and put two lines and tie up your dinghy quite securely to your boat. But if you have to go quite a distance, this is the best way to do it. Okay, so this is the mistake that I did and that people tend to do. I just got a line from the back of the dinghy and I connected to the main boat, and I started using the engine to tow the main boat. But here's what happens when I try to do that. Check this out. Let me try and put this more to the center. If I use this method, I have absolutely no control over the direction where the boat is going. I don't know if you can see this, but I am trying to go, if I try to go that way, it will just pull the dinghy the other way around. So this is wrong. You cannot tow your main boat using the dinghy in this position. What you have to do is tow it backwards, and I'll show you how that's done. I'm just gonna change the setup. Now all I did was I put the line in front of the dinghy, and I'm going to go in reverse to tow the main boat. And you'll see I'll have much more control. So now I go in reverse, and as you can see, I can tow it, and if I want to go that way, I can do that. If I want to go that way, I can do that as well. And it's much more controlled. Let me stop pulling, because we moved quite a bit already. But what you can see is that even if I put more power, which I couldn't do before because the boat would just veer to one or the other side, I can control where the dinghy is going, and therefore where we're pulling the main boat. See? Super easy, super controlled, no stress, no fuss. The other day we were leaving Anchorage and we got a line stuck on our propeller, and it was no, I can't say that. The other day we were leaving Anchorage and we got the only thing you need to do, it's gonna get a little bit loud. So this motor is providing this. So as you can see, this motor will provide the thrust. And we are moving. Basically, what you're doing is providing steerage. I mean, providing, how do you say it? If you're still watching, you're a freaking hero. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you on the next one. Cheers, bye.